This is this is PPT for fodder production.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
We
Yes.
have not discussed this also, I think.
No, we haven't.
Okay. See, these are the you do not have to. This is for degree I have prepared. So you do not have to
Okay.
remember all. You do not have to
Okay.
learn all of this. You just have to learn that I will tell you. This terminology you have to do. Like what is roughage,
Okay.
what is hay, what is silage, haylage. This terminology you have to do. This classification, legume,
Okay.
non-legume, only their examples. Like leguminous crops are like lucerne is there, berseem is there. Cowpea is there, non-legume, this jowar, bajra, maize is there. Only names you have to remember.
Okay.
Then the desirable characters you can see, but you do not have to remember them. It is not in your
Okay.
syllabus. Then this grazing management you have to do. Grazing
Okay.
management means we have, like we know that we have limited resources in our country. So the problem is like we are generally focused on cutting down the fodder and feeding them. Grazing is very less practiced, and where it is practiced, it is like overgrazing is a problem. All these
Okay.
fodders and all they got depleted very fast, and all these weeds and less nutritious grass and they left. So we have to manage that how are we grazing the animals. Like we
Oh,
can do rotational grazing, we can do this deferred grazing. Then all these things I have written. Then these photos. These photos I have seen the different methods of grazing, like deferred grazing,
okay.
continuous grazing, controlled continuous grazing.
Okay.
Only
Yes,
you
sir.
have to remember name and definition. Nothing else you have to do.
Okay.
Okay. This
Yes,
PPT
sir.
like controlled continuous rotational grazing, only this thing. Then selection of this saline alkaline lands you do not have to study. Mulching, strip cropping, uh, agroforestry. You do not have to do these also. You
Okay.
have to do these things. You have to do the deep regions of like restrictions of our grazing land, like deforestation, overgrazing, mining and digging, storage of feed and fodder. I will reach in 5 minutes. I will reach in my room. I will tell you in detail. I am on
Okay.
road
Yes,
now.
sir.
In 5 minutes, I will reach here. Then this exams you have to do.
Okay.
Uh, this also you do not have to do. Only this silage hay will be there. This silage and hay making only you have to remember. Silage is
Okay.
like what does this proteinless like carbohydrate rich fodders like our maize. This our maize is there. So it is the method of storing it. Like sometimes what happens that we do not have adequate green fodder due to like due to like no rainfall or water scarcity or any problem will to very high cost of maintenance. So when the fodder is abundant, what we do, we can process it and we can store it for the lean period. So silage making is one of the best methods to store fodder. So what we do, it is a fermentative storage. Like fermentation we do of fodder, we will tight pack it in silo pits. Silo pit is like nothing like deep like pit, very large pit. We will tightly fit
Okay.
all this, and we will add some like for the action of bacteria. Like lactic acid bacteria is the most important bacteria in this. So what will you do for the action of bacteria? What we will add some carbohydrate source like molasses
Okay.
or molasses. You know molasses?
Yes, I know
Hello,
molasses. Yes.
hello. Molasses have you heard?
Hello. Yes, I've heard of it. It's a
You
sugar
know molasses or?
substitute. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Sugar, byproduct of sugarcane industry it is.
Yes.
Uh, so it is like very carbohydrate rich. like a high quantity of sugars are there in this. Okay, so sugars are there, so we can add this so that fermentation takes place properly, and then we keep it for around 30 days or 60 days in the completely fit, like no air should be there. If air goes in, it will get destroyed. So completely tight packing we will do, and we will keep it. So what will happen inside? Like fermentation of alcohols, you have heard.
Yes.
So like that fermentation will take place of this fodder, and it will be sweet in taste, and we can store it for as many time we want. As long as that we do not allow moisture and air to get inside, we can store it for years, no problem at all. And its nutritional quality also increases due to fermentation process. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and then we can do this during the lean period, like at the time when we do not have this green fodder. Then second process is this hay making. Hay you must have heard many times, like make hay when the sun shines is an English proverb you have heard many
Yes.
times. Have you heard
Yes,
of
sir.
make hay when the
Yeah.
sun
Yes.
shines?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it means that this hay making is a process of like what we do this leguminous fodder, like protein rich fodders. Silage we make of carbohydrate rich fodders. Hay we make of protein rich, like your barsim, lucerne, cowpea, all these fodders. What we do when we
Okay.
have abundant of them, we will keep them in the under the sun on different sizes, and we will let it dry up to the level that moisture reduces to 10 to 15%.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yes,
dry
sir.
matter content how much? 90%.
Okay.
Okay, I reached 90% dry matter will be there. Just a second. Yeah, I reached. So what we do for leguminous fodders, we do like we will like I will show you if I have photo. See, like this you can see in this photo.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
hello,
Hello.
Sam,
Yes, sir.
are you here?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see this photo
Yes, sir.
under the sun like this. We will put that fodder under the sun so that all the moisture present in it gets evaporated, and this dry matter content increases. So when moisture evaporates, what will happen? Chances of its destruction, like when there is no moisture, this growth of bacteria will be checked very easily. So there will be no
Okay.
growth of bacteria, and we can store it for longer. Then we have to protect it from rainfall and all. We have to store it
Okay.
like inside a structure. So when we do not have like good quality green fodder, we can feed this non legume hay. Actually, hays we make generally of legume hay. Non legume hay is just definition for definition purpose I have given. Okay,
Okay.
we do not make non-legume hay because its quality is very low. We-
Oh,
and we do not make silage of that crop that are protein rich. Why? Because when protein is high, like in berseem and lucerne, what will happen is during fermentation process there is formation of butyric acid. Okay, so butyric acid is a very pungent smelling and very bad for animals, for the health of animals and all. So we do not make silage of leguminous fodders, and we do not make hay of non-legume fodders. Okay, so this
yes,
was
sir.
important. We will discuss in detail. You see in this silage and hay you study, and I will tell you this PPT was for degree, for BBSC,
Okay.
not for you. So you do not, I will send you right now this, but you do not have to like introduction you study, terminology
Okay.
you study, and this
Yes, sir.
classification. Legume,
Okay.
non-legume for only these examples like berseem, lucerne, cowpea, guar. These are legumes. Okay.
Okay.
Cereal fodder only these examples: oat, maize, barley, sorghum. Nothing else like this crude protein content and NFE. You do not have to remember anything.
Okay.
Then desirable characters you can study, like it should be water. It is very easy. Like all the desirable character of forages are all same. Like it should have short lifespan. Why should it have a short lifespan? So that we can cut it early. Okay,
Okay.
it should be disease resistant. It should be like alkalinity, so salinity and alkalinity resistant to the crops. Low water requirement, disease resistant, non-toxic element should be there. Should be like no toxic element. Like toxic elements, like you see sorghum, jowar, you must have had in this cyanide is
Yes.
present. In this other crops like mimosin is in this guar, and like different kind of anti-nutritional or toxic factors are present. So they should not be there. So these are the desirable characters. This constraints way and means you do not have to remember. You do not have to study all this. Then grazing management, only this thing. These photos you can see. These
Yes,
photos.
sir. Yes.
Continuous, rotational, deferred, only this. I will tell you what is continuous grazing is nothing like we are not stopping grazing. Like animals are, you have a land for grazing area and animals are grazing there non-stop. There is no stoppage.
Yes.
Where it is like when we have adequate area for forest cultivation and less number of animals are there. So we can do that. Otherwise we cannot do. Then this is rotational grazing. It is important in rotational grazing. What we do, we will. You must know that rotational grazing. You already knows that we will divide. Like you have, suppose you have 3 hectares of land. So we will divide 3 hectares of land into 4 5 parts. Like adequate number of separations we will do. Suppose you have 10 hectares land. So what we will do? We will make 10 areas of 1 hectare. Okay. So what we will do? We will graze animals in one like 3 4, and we will leave rest of the for the growth of the grasses. And when after 3 4 months, when like grazing already that where animals were grazing, where like length of grasses becomes very short, we will shift the animals to the area where grass is abundant, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
So in 30 40 days, we keep on shifting them to next area. Like first we will allow them grazing in first 2 hectares, then second two, then third two, then fourth two. Like if we have 10, we can divide only 3 3. Okay, we go for 30 days we can graze on one area. It is rotational.
Okay.
Like, deferred grazing is like rotational grazing only. What we do is like suppose you have like 10 animals and 10 hectares of land, only 2 hectares of land. So number of animals are large and you have less amount of land. So what we do time of either we reduce the time of grazing. Like earlier we were allowing them to graze for like 10 12 hours. Now we will allow them only for 5 hours. Or we can reduce the number of animals. Like we will allow only 4 animals to graze at a time. Then we will next day we will allow next four, and next day next four. Like that, we will reduce either the number of animals or we will reduce the time of grazing. One thing we
Okay.
will reduce. Okay, it is deferred.
Yes, sir.
The deferred rotational is there. Deferred rotational is like combination of deferred and rotational. What we'll do that during the lean season, like during peak summers, when the like growth of grasses is very less, only that time we will do rotational grazing. Otherwise, we will allow them to graze. Okay.
Okay.
Then soiling or zero grazing means that means this is cut and carry system. Cut and carry system means we will grow our fodder, we will cut the fodder and we will feed them. We will not allow grazing. We will feed them in their stalls. It is soiling or zero grazing.
Yes,
Understood?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Only this much you have to remember. And this Honham system is there once. You remember this. In this, what we will
Okay.
do? We have grass field. So and you have different like categories of animals we are having at farm. Like some are milk animals, some are dry animals, some are calves, some are like that low producing. So what we do first of all we will allow like high yielder animals. Our milk animals we are giving high production of milk. Okay. Then we will allow low yielder animals, like we are giving low production. Then we will allow dry cows, and at last growing animals, so that the most nutritious fodder, who will get the most nutritious fodder?
Mm, mm, The early
Early
lactation
like high
cows.
yielder animals, like who are milk animals, because we are allowing
Yes.
them to graze first. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is Honheim system. Then selection of forage crops you do not have to remember. This table you remember only. Like these are the
Okay.
cereal means carbohydrate rich. Leguminous
Okay.
means protein rich. And these are grasses.
Okay.
Nothing else to remember. This saline alkaline lands your water log, it is not in your. You do not have to remember. You are
Okay.
then you go to silage and hay.
Okay.
Okay, this silage and hay, this here. Then you study this silage and hay. You understood little bit, or you want to ask?
Yeah, yeah, no, sir, I understood.
Okay. Only in silage hay, what you have to do? You have to remember first thing that for silage making we require carbohydrate rich fodders like your maize. Okay,
Yes.
maize, oats, all those things. Because fermentation take place in this. So for fermentation, we require carbohydrate, not protein.
Yes,
If
sir. Okay.
if we have protein-rich concentrates like leucine, berberine, cowpea, what will happen? There will be formation of butyric acid, and we do not want butyric acid. And
Okay.
carbohydrate powder, when there is fermentation, what will be formed? Lactic acid will be formed. We require lactic acid because lactic acid is important and beneficial to the.
Yes, sir.
And for a complete opposite, we require protein rich. Only this much. Okay, I'm sending you this PPT.
Okay, sir.
You go through this. If you have questions, you ask, or we will do it again. Today we are doing
Okay.
fast. Do not. I was outside. I will do it. I will tell you in thoroughly. I will tell you next class.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I will send you this PPT. Right.
Yes, received, sir.
Okay. How to remove this PPT now? Uh, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you on the top of the screen.
Okay. Video is there.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, wait. Yeah. Yeah. So this was all for today. I will you go through it. Next class we will go through detail in this. Okay.
Yes.
And
Okay.
class will be genetics. Then next
Okay.
class one genetics, one LPM. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all for today. Then.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.